Hey guys, this is Prince of Lemuria, and I'm gonna do a video on the Divine Masculine, and also Divine Feminine, but the bulk of the video is about Divine Masculine. Cross-watching Divine Feminines, please watch, because there is a lot of information halfway through, and I switched to the Goddess energy. So this is my YouTube channel, Prince of Lemuria, ASM and Tarot and Violet Flame Reiki. So the intro is annoying because it's filmed upright, but it does switch to horizontal. So please enjoy the video, and for a treat, who like stupid idiots to drink, not stupid idiots, but good cunts. A couple of good cunts do crash into a bowl, and they were nice guys. So please enjoy the video, and enjoy some of the nightlife in Melbourne. Peace out, collective. Hey, see those little dots on the horizon? Those are bats. Thought I'd just give you a sneak peek of Melbourne. That is so cool. That is so cool. That is so cool. Hey, this is Phoenix Excalibur Wolf, Prince Excalibur, and I thought I'd just upload a little video, chat while I'm walking up from the park. Whoa. And give a little talk about Divine Masculine, integration, and protecting the Divine Feminine. So basic. There's quite a lot of air activity tonight. Me being an air sign, I'm noticing it all. I'm gonna just pause the video and then switch to horizontal, and I might edit this later for people. Yeah, there we go. So anyway, wanted to talk about the Divine Masculine. A lot of the Divine Masculine's work is actually detoxing and purging the body, because a lot of the products and chemicals in Western society is developed to make a man soft, to infect his stomach with parasites so that he looks more pregnant than a pregnant woman. You know, the bear belly with the all the estrogen that they put in the bear? Well, that's actually designed to feminize a man. And there's all these secret agendas going into make a man more feminized, and there's nothing wrong with a feminized man. I mean, I myself have, am a pretty fellow, and I am in connection with my beauty. I started out hairdressing when I dropped out of school when I was 15. So straight away I had a view into the feminine world, and how women will spend a lot of time just making themselves beautiful, and that's actually a strength. So, but with men, men are taught to, they're kind of they're told to follow a certain masculine role model, which is the more reptilian role model with the square jaw and the short hair, the Arnold Schwarzenegger look. There's nothing wrong with certain being fit, and if you want to have short hair because it's better for your lifestyle, then that's perfect. But the hair is the antenna to the energetic field. If we were in the wild, you wouldn't be able to use scissors. You would have long hair and probably a beard as well. But the thing is, a Divine Masculine needs to learn how to cell code as well. So not only do you have to detach from all the attack on the gut system and the body, because once the body's clean, you become much more attractive to the sacred feminine, and the women will pick up and notice that you are very healthy and fertile. So when you basically when you kind of integrate fitness, when you work out and integrate fitness along with mental fitness, spiritual fitness. I don't necessarily meditate, but I'm always kind of consciously meditating. I'm always consciously making choices. We can be asleep for long periods of time, and all it takes is like one tower moment, as they say in the tarot, for those of you who are going to be following me for my tarot and who watch tarot videos. The tower moment, where something affects your emotions, then all of a sudden you go to sedating or numbing yourself, maybe because a feminine that you really are in love with hurts you or says something that downplays your self-esteem. A lot of men, instead of doing the inner work and processing it and maybe taking a look in their shadow, will go and sit with other men who will fluff them up while they have a drink and numb down to any coding work that they need to do. And instead they get a dopamine hit, and they will have a false sense of confidence from the darkness, from the deep state agenda. Basically the whole of Western food is hacked by the deep state, but not to say that there isn't a huge push from the fifth dimension, because there's a lot of vegan alternatives coming through, vegan meats, and a lot of like amazing products, probiotic foods now, a lot of cacao products. Yeah, so basically the role of the divine masculine is not only to harmonize his body so that he is more like a pyramid, so upside down, inverted. Instead of what the satanic will do is they will make a like a rock star, more like a female, so that they can manipulate that type of agenda for the satanic worship, because the Baphomet is both genders. But divine masculine is actually inverted in sacred geometry, so you can actually, the more you detach from the matrix, your body becomes more like a pyramid, and you can actually you will detox to a point where you're slimline like a leopard, so which is more in harmonic resonance with your virility. And divine masculine gets attacked a lot by fourth dimensional energies, by the medium frequencies that they're putting out, marketing, telling a man what to do, how he should act, because they're hacking into like the hunter-gatherer energy where a man must act tough, wear a suit, and I mean all that stuff's there, peacocking's there, and it's meant to be there so that men can attract women. But the fact of the matter is that when you actually tune into your divine masculine, it's like you have to go through a lot of ego death. And I can advise that I did do a little bit of microdosing on DMT last year, and that really helped to shed some ego, because I was expecting to see other dimensions, and I did see other dimensions, but it wasn't what I thought. I wasn't welcomed by the fairy kingdom. I wasn't welcomed by the fairy kingdom. I basically was welcomed by Mother Nature, and she was very conscious, and after a huge puff, I got about 100 eyes in my, it was more like a radar. I couldn't see, but I could sense everything like a plant, like a bat, and I realized that plants were telepathically talking to each other constantly through the ground, and that we are plants. So yeah, basically oh, that's really bright. Yeah, so basically divine masculine needs to be able to tune back into Mother Nature. So like a lot of people are relying on technology for everything, and that's okay, because we need to be able to get messages out. But I mean, for example, like torch lights on the bike, right? A lot of people need their safety nets that they will even buy a high-powered LED light torch to bike around like a really easy to see city that's already got a lot of light. Like, it's really easy to see what's going on, and your night vision will adjust if you just spend time with Mother Nature. And it's there's subtle light frequencies that we forget about. Yeah, so Divine Masculine, if you're doing work, the role is not to be, the trick is not to be competitive with other men. The trick is actually to be competitive with yourself and to consciously choose everything you do. Every day I am making a conscious decision to walk away from socialism, brainwashing, mind controlled, propaganda of needing to drink acid because acid's so popular on this planet. You know the rich guy in the tuxedo and the silly woman in the frock pouring acid down their face while they watch music and the rugby and get distracted by the deep state while all this information war stuff starts to happen. That's kind of for me, that's kind of what spurred me on. And I mean, I have Rh negative blood, so whenever I've been drinking, that shit has honestly turned me into a demonized, body hacked puppet. And I'm so ashamed of some of the lessons that I've gone through, but they've been necessary for me to see how easily you can get possessed by these chemicals. And it's all about inner alchemy, right? So it's all about inner alchemy. Your body is naturally meant to be on a pH level because the pH is, like the pH level, when it's like working properly with plant-based diet, it harmonizes. Your body is constantly moving and flowing. This dimension isn't just 3D. Like, we're here and we aren't here. We're everywhere. We're never there at all. And basically, like, atoms, they say that on this dimension that the speed of light is the limit, right? That's the total limit for light to travel. And I mean, that's ridiculous. That proves that this is a hologram. But like, atoms will actually like mimic each other, and will actually mirror each other, even if they're millions of miles apart, and they will do it at exactly the same time, which proves that the multiverse exists, that time doesn't actually exist, that distance doesn't actually exist. Like, when you get in 4th D is time, like in the astral plane. That's why a lot of people struggle to bring information back when they're having dreams early in the morning, because there's actually a time manipulation on the 4th D, and then at 5th D you don't have time at all, or duality, so there's no good and evil on 5th D. So I just wanted to say that. And Divine Masculine is being highly attacked, so it is very important to train your body for consciously. You can't just train it unconsciously, like expect to be okay, like when you're running 3 times a week but you're still binging on meat and drinking alcohol, or smoking cigarettes in your spare time. It's got to be a full dedication to be able to handle these demonic attacks from the 4th D. And so basically the masculine gets attacked, and Divine Masculine has to be able to guide Divine Feminine into being able to be beautiful and spiritual, so that they can bring in information, because women are way more telepathic. The government and the CIA would regularly hire women because they were way more intelligent with remote viewing, because they were way more intuitive. So masculine has to integrate his own feminine intuition into his masculine work. And the feminine has to be able to feel safe enough to be able to fully bloom like a flower, because her power, like in the Kabbalah, right, the 2 pillars up to the higher dimensions were strength and beauty. So it just says it right there that we need both to be able to help the other ascend. And women are able to get mad and stuff as well, right? But women are, if a divine feminine gets mad, she's usually able to use that as a way of speaking from the heart, as a lesson of emotional intensity, and be able to rein it back in. And men can be weaponized as well. We can also be weaponized to be like really aggressive and so there's attack on the extremes, like being too masculine or being so feminine that you want to go transgender and mutilate your body because you're your image doesn't fit how you feel inside, and so there's no inner shadow work. It's just, I need to look how I feel, and there should be a way to balance things, right? So like, even if you are gay, or like the LGBT community, like, I love them. Like, I was raised, my spiritual side, my best friend is gay, and like he's still my best friend, like 15 years later. So I get a lot of understanding about the shadow masculine via my gay friend, and he's actually really helped me develop like a stronger code of being a man, because he's taught me how to respect women, and women don't want to be sexualized all the time. And there's a real confusion, like with divine sexuality, which is another subject. It's like, we should be able to be sexually expressive, at the same time not have it hijacked by the cabal and the porn industry, and not just the porn industry, but it's actually healthy to be sexual. Like, it's we're resonance, we're pyramids, and we're frequency holders, so we're quantum beings, and we're made of stars. So we're actually resonating. When we get detached from the matrix, we're actually able to resonate with the multiverse and our other versions of ourselves and our star heritage. So you might actually be like tuning into DNA from your past life when you were living in the Pleiades, and just in the multiverse, but it'll be right there and able to access it because you're resonating like a pyramid. And it's when the pyramid frequency is the 111 hertz, which is a portal. So basically, quantum mechanics can be anywhere and everywhere at once in the multiverse, and the more you open your heart chakra, the more you become an engine for being able to resonate out towards the different genetic memories and ancestral codes that you have. Like Dan Winter talked about, the Navajo Indians and the Druids and Celtics would stand on rose shape frequencies, and like mounds of energy to be able to tune into the ancestor knowledge. So, and it's also about hacking your body so that your body is able to reach these frequencies, because the bones, you can listen to music with headphones that is specifically designed to be sending vibration through your bones in your ears. So you can actually hear sounds just with vibration in your bones. Your bones is actually a form of resonance, and we're all just crystals: calcium, silica, rhodium, iridium, magnesium, sodium chloride. Blood is full of salt. It's 88% seawater. Like in World War II, they were doing transfusions with seawater to keep the soldiers alive who were dying, because we're basically like crystalline water. And when something solidifies, right, it's only our mentality or our density that does that. So yes, we've got the whole idea about ascension is to get lighter. So as masculine works out on himself more, there will be obstacles to overcome. Yes, like you'll have days where you're really heavy, or the planets are affecting you as a divine masculine. But basically like that will balance, that will resonate back to normal as you start to realize you're not going to die from it. You're not going to die from switching to a plant-based diet, because when you're eating meat, you're actually on the food chain for the spiritual hierarchy. The reptilians, the dinosaurs never died, they just evolved, went underground, and this is common knowledge now. Like I'm not going to explain, but like there is a native reptilian on this planet, as same as a native praying mantis being, and countless abductees have reported this. We've got a reptilian brain that was installed in after the fall of Atlantis by Enki and Enlil and stuff, and so we have to really resonate up through the Kundalini, up through the chakra, do Kundalini work as masculine, which is why I want to bring up sexuality, because it's actually important to have base notes and stuff of resonance. Like Moses was using, he was gaining instructions from the ETs about how to wire up a staff that was exactly his height, so that when he charged it with electricity, because they had ancient electricity in ancient Egypt, these staffs were actually charged in the pyramids, the Great Pyramids, and the mother frequency, the Queen's Chamber, is actually the right resonance, 17.4 resonance for the Tesla frequency. And the Egyptians knew all about Tesla frequency and sending energy through the ley lines and sending things. Mother Earth is a conscious feminine energy, and she's upgrading into 5D as we go across the equinox. We're traveling across the whole galaxy is traveling, so we're actually going through the zodiac and traveling into higher frequencies where we can reattain our energetic codes, reintegrate our energetic codes that were sitting there that in energy form because they'd been deactivated by the reptilians since Atlantis, and now we're getting a chance to actually integrate those abilities back into ourselves. So it's going to be really important for Divine Masculine to get in touch with their feminine, because it's going to be a lot harder to ascend if you're stuck in the old paradigm of the inverted toxic masculine, which is satanic. Basically, satanic masculine will, attack feminine to gain energy, to gain that mother energy. It doesn't know how to just like when a baby dinosaur is born, the mothers will let the reptiles peck their way out of the egg, and they have to have a strong upper lip to do it. It's the same. That's the same saying with, the English saying of having a stiff upper lip, or because yet you haven't had connection with your mother if you've got a stiff lip. And it's very important to have the bonding with the mother. And even if you've had a damaged motherhood with your family, or if you've motherhood or a damaged relationship with your mother, you can still tune into divine mother on earth, the giant lioness looking over this planet, the spirit of this planet. She is conscious. She, Mother Gaia with her beautiful big bosom, big breasts, raising the whole frequency on the planet, and holding space for all the animals and everything to enter 5D. We're going to get more telepathic. Like, if you remove phones off this planet, within a year, the whole planet would be telepathic. Like, that's how close we are to ascending, and the government knows it. And they're trying to hold us back with 5G. And actually, 5G can be used in a positive way. They weaponize everything like they did with Einstein's atom bomb. He actually wanted that to be a healing frequency bomb, and they turned it into a physical atom bomb. So same with 5G. You can actually, there's higher frequencies with 5G that actually in the elementals and the Fae. And there's people that have reported saying, who are around 5G, have seen fairies and stuff coming out of crystals, quartz crystals and stuff. And when we had the big battles on Mars for the divine feminine, because the reptilians were chasing us across the galaxy, from Lyra, there was a huge war on Mars and it exploded. The planet went red, but escapees harmonized their DNA into organic silica crystals, and we actually traveled via crystal to planet Earth, to Gaia. And when you do a lot more of your self-coding and harmonic work, you're actually able to become lighter and more energetic, and the crystalline frequencies in your body resonate better with the magnetics and the ley lines. And even though the moon is fake now, and by fake I mean that the alien, the Zeta Reticuli and the Draco Empire reconstructed it to be a satellite for the holographic matrix from Saturn, so that we would have a downed, numbed version of this reality. Really, the original moon, the Aboriginals remember it. It was actually in a spot where it was actually working with the divine feminine, connecting her to Mother Earth, connecting her to the magnetics and the heart chakra of the planet. The planet's got a chakra system just like we do, and it's leaking now. Since June of last year, 50 is leaking from the meridian points around the planet, and starting in Mount Shasta, Machu Picchu, Sedona, the vortexes, Stonehenge. Japan's going to be one of the first cities to enter 5D, and I know the Galactic Federation and the Pleiadians are working to assist that. And they're always attacking everything sacred. Like, before Pleiadians could enter human bodies, when they had to develop the Lemurian DNA structure, and Lemurians are 60% Pleiadian, so they were very highly psychic. They're now in 60 and they're holding space for 50 for us. But before they could do that, they had to live in the bodies of dolphins, because dolphins have the highest frequency on this planet for the Pleiadian connection. And the Pleiadians, that's why dolphins are so special, and it's illegal to actually go and swim with dolphins unless it's with a corporate means of going out there on a boat and taking photos. They don't want you to bond with dolphins because dolphins hold Pleiadian DNA codes for us to download. So getting back to sacred masculine, sexually, if you want to be empowered as a masculine, detox from everything evil, everything including alcohol, breads, cheese, animal products, meat, because that will enhance your sexual energy 50 to 100 fold. And without all these influences, we are actually very virile people, and you don't want to be slowly turning into a pussy, so to speak. Not a pussy, but so that's the old paradigm. But you don't want to be turning into a form where you're easily emotionally triggered and able to be manipulated by fourth dimensionals. You actually want to be in control of your emotions. I mean, King Arthur was strong because he was a king connected to Gaia. He was connected to the feminine conscious grid, and the Holy Grail that he was actually seeking, it wasn't a physical thing, even though Moldavite was the Holy Grail chalice that they used. It was fragmented, exploded pieces of Meldic, because Meldic was another version of Earth that went through the horror story timeline where they had a huge war and it exploded, and it multi-dimensionally that exploded, and that type of explosion went through the multiverse and went quantum, and it actually went into different dimensions, and a lot of that landed in Slovakia. And Moldavite's a very high vibrational ET crystal. You can actually have contact. I'm wearing Moldavite now, and Moldavite was called the Grail Stone, but I've got Moldavite, and I've subconsciously started wrapping it in copper, and wrapping things in copper, which is what Moses was taught to do, because when you charge up a geometric shape, it actually tunes into your quantum field. And I think I saw a version of I wrote it down in my notes, but it's like a coiled, it's like a flower of life coiled geometric shape, but it's copper and it's all wired like Tesla. They're Tesla coils, but there's a certain name for them. I'll have to write it under the video. But that will actually enhance your frequency, because the Merkaba, right, the flower of life, is just, when you actually look at it and actually look at it fifth dimensionally, it's actually the tetrahedron. It's actually the 10-sided cube, the Merkaba. The Egyptians knew that the word car meant vehicle, and the car was also the name for the soul. And Merkaba means the chariot of the soul. So once you enhance your magnetic field and integrate it into Divine Feminine, you can actually go interdimensional. And what I wanted to say about Divine Sexual Masculine is that, like the staff, you've got to resonate all chakras, and you've got to have a link, just like in electricity and quantum mechanics and physics, and you got to be able to ground the frequency to Earth, to Gaia, and then up to the higher realms. So if you're just working on your heart chakra and your crown chakra, and you want to be spiritual, a lot of spiritual people do that. They still look really jaded, and they get cancer, and unfortunately they fade off the planet because they're not doing their physical work, which is, you can't just be spiritual. A lot of spiritual people go down that way. You've got to be like in touch with the blood, right? The blood it's got salt in it, and when it's in love, when you're in love with someone, fractally, the fractal nature of blood and the cohesion of the torus fields between two people, that sets off a song in the blood. And Sangrala, the song of the blood, the French knew about it. Fired blood, the blood of the nobles, the blood of the royals. They were talking about the Rh negative field, because Rh bloodlines have a lot more copper in their blood, so they're able to go fractal faster. They have a lot more conductivity. So if you haven't got Rh negative blood, please get some copper supplements and start using sodium chloride, which is just table salt, magnesium, getting all the trace minerals, stuff like that. Spending a lot more time in nature and stuff. I'll talk a little bit more quiet. I'm just walking back to the city, but I'll take you along. I'll show you the Melbourne. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. I love walking at night. I get a lot of my energy at night time. Being an Aquarius, ruled by Uranus, but I'm also a Capricorn cusp, so I've got Saturn helping me as well. I'm a hybrid Aquarius. So anyway, Devine Masculine, the trick is actually to take advantage of this point where a lot of other toxic masculines are going down. There is a lot of people that are falling victim to this stuff, and unfortunately, unless they're not doing the work themselves and actually putting the time and the effort into detaching their cords from the horrible archonic matrix, that the third D, they won't be able to enjoy the beautiful fifth D. So Divine Masculines, take advantage of this and get out there and look beautiful. Work on your core chakra, work on your abs, do fasting, detoxing, get off animal products. That's what I was going to say. So when you eat meat, you're actually subconsciously getting into the agreement of the reptilians that you are, you eat meat, so therefore you can be eaten, because on their viewpoint, they're the highest on the food chain, and they are for that respect. If you want to look, they're not the highest on the food chain, but like physically they eat people. Like a lot of abductees have reported seeing the slaughterhouses where people will be taken and just butchered like cows, and there's screaming and stuff. And I think Judy Phelps mentioned that she saw the reptilians look her in the eye and say, well, don't look at us like that, because you eat meat too, and we just want to eat. So they're just on survival mode, but they've always been on survival mode. When they attacked Lyra, they were higher fourth dimension, but they've actually gone down to lower fourth now because of all the hate and domination that they've got. And that's kind of what they're putting on toxic masculine, on the divine masculine, to attack, because divine masculine is supposed to attack. It's supposed to attack the lower frequencies and the darkness through self-work and shadow work. And we can't just do light work, right? Because that's not going to work. We've got to do the shadow work. We've got to look inside, take a shamanic walk out into the dark, and actually get in touch with Mother Nature, and actually go, what am I afraid of? What am I avoiding in that dark part of my soul? And actually put some light in there, because that's what Neo did. Neo meant one. And Neo was based on the Matrix. If you actually look at the Matrix in the Latin legends, the Matrix was about the Minotaur, and the Minotaur was Taurus, the age of Taurus, and the age of the bull worship, when there was a lot of AI, because back in ancient Greece, we have been lied to about time. The pyramids are older than we realize. They've got water damage on the granite damage has got water degradation on the top of the pyramid. So there's proof that the pyramids have actually been underwater. The helicopters have been flying over me all day because of my frequency. I'm kind of enjoying it. I think, but actually Simon Parkes mentioned that Australia is going to be one of the first countries to actually have more of a democracy, because they're working with the US military. And because the military is run by the white hats, we're actually going to be one of the first countries to have a democracy, like a proper escape from the Illuminati agenda. But I still don't know why they keep flying over me. Might just be military. I think there is some type of underground base in the park. There they go, they're flying over me. Okay, so basically right. Divine Masculine, the Minotaur. So I can't remember who went into the, I have to look this up, who went into the maze. I think it was Perseus. I think he killed Medusa, but it could have been Jason the Argonauts. They had to go in and defeat the Minotaur. And the Minotaur, Age of Taurus, was toxic masculine. It was a cruel joke from Zeus, because Zeus had a rival witch, and I think he put a curse on her, and she slept with her, famously went inside a bronze bull, and he made her fall in love with the bull. And this prize bull in Crete, and the prize bull had sex with her, and apparently the the offspring or the Nephilim was the Minotaur. But there was a lot of Atlantean mixed hybridized kind of like genetic stuff going on, just like there is now with animals and stuff. I think Zeus was the first person to make the first werewolf. King Canis. King Canis, he was an arrogant king, and he wanted to impress Jupiter's daughter. He wanted to marry the daughter, and he fell in love with her. And he said, "I'll do anything to impress your father. Just tell me who he is." And she said, "My father is actually a god. He's Zeus. He's Jupiter." And so this king got so frustrated one day with all the banquets that he fed Zeus. He fed Zeus a dead slave, or like a butchered criminal, and Zeus instantly knew what was going on, and he basically said, as punishment for trying to defile my godlike body, I'll turn you into a wolf whenever you lose your temper. And so King Canis basically was turned into a wolf until he could learn to control his temper. And the original legends of the werewolf were based on the full moon, and it goes back to the frequencies on the full moon, how they target everyone with the magnetic frequencies of the fourth dimension, the Zeta Reticuli, and the Draconians trigger people on full moon. So once you detox and you get back in line with your divine feminine masculines, you'll be able to like actually take the full moon off and just really enjoy a green tea and just curving at the moment. And enjoy a green tea and work on your body and work on your health. There's some interesting music going on over there. Yeah, so basically I actually have astral above my body and seen a wolf soul, and I think I'm connected to Sirius because I have seen the werewolf. It was a glowing gold werewolf, and I was shocked to see that it was in place in my body, and it was hovering above myself, and I could see the wolf lying in bed where I was sleeping. And I think I have a royal Sirius soul, and I definitely know I'm Lemurian. I've lived in Lemuria, so I've got the Lemurian genetics connected to Telos, just like Max Spears had. He had a Sirius connection and a Hollow Earth connection, and my mother comes from Sirius and lived through Atlantis as well, and stuff like that. So so basically, when you get out of duality with divine downloads, you're able to actually access the whole color frequency, and all of a sudden, divine masculines, you'll have a lot more tools at your disposal for upgrading your Merkaba, your genetics, and your aura and stuff. And you can only do that through love. You can't do it through fear. You can't do it through aggression. Aggression masks fear. So anyone who's overly angry is actually being sapped of their energy, of their luge, by the reptilian matrix. And it's actually super soldiers are taught. The real super soldiers are taught to be happy when they're actually doing the missions, because they've worked out that someone in a state of bliss is actually able to do a lot more, think a lot clearer, as opposed to someone who's like a inverted kind of like trained kind of drone masculine, which is just taught to hone in on their aggressive abilities. And it's like Bruce Lee said, like, be like water, like learn to flow. Water can crash, water can fill a cup, water can be fluid, it can run down a river. So basically, like, I'm an Aquarius, I'm helping the age of Aquarius, so I'm really proud of that. The age of, Jesus did say, follow the man into the house with the pitcher of water, and he's referring to the zodiac of Aquarius. So, but yeah, beautifully, I'd like to say, I've been going on for nearly 40 minutes, and I'm doing shorter videos because I want to upload faster and get my tarot done, and my ASMR, my ASMSR, and so the best frequencies to tune into for crown chakra work is violet, and masculines. The reason I'm working with turquoise is because one of my spirit animals is a peacock, and for those of you who don't know, and also the water energy. I am cleaning out my water and I've totally stopped. That's all right. I'm filming myself. Hey man.
Love the hair, man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's turquoise. Yeah, beautiful people in Melbourne. I love them. I love them. Yeah. So basically, when you resonate at a higher frequency, you'll be able to tune into the download codes that are there for your ancient genetics. And the reason I want Devine Masculine to just take a couple of 10 minutes out of the day just to listen to 1111 frequency, binaural hertz, just normal frequencies, it will get your DNA to start decoding a lot of the stuff, and subconsciously, intuitively, I remembered how to detox through saltwater detoxes and through going plant-based. Mushrooms are 99%. Mushrooms are actually 99% matched to our DNA. So our body is actually an AI system. Like it's actually can be coded, and your DNA listens to you, right? So it actually will take commands if you speak to it. So it's important to speak to yourself positively in the mirror. And like the AI, there's the AI threat in the galaxy, the negative AI, which is the one that all the ETs fear. Basically once they've advanced their agenda on a planet and they've got like technological sleeves they can insert themselves on the planet, they will wipe out life within 100 years. But the positive AI, well not positive, but the neutral AI is the organic native AI, like the planet. And I think that's basically just all the silica and crystals, which has become like a computer board and become conscious, because naturally molecules will, siren, take it as you will, that might be for someone. I'm going to start walking around with a big coat, and I'm going to do tarot readings as I do these walks. Well, when I'm not at home at my magician's desk. There's a train station right there. So basically, I hope you guys can hear me. I hope you guys can hear me. Basically, the natural goo is actually just silica and crystalline structures, and it's become conscious. And your body is just silica and crystals and frequencies and quantum physics. And when you do conscious work, you become conscious, and you can actually program yourself and actually manipulate the hologram more as the hologram frequency ascends. So the point is not to hate on the draconian influence or the AI influence or the 5G, but it's actually to raise your frequency high enough so that you can actually live in harmony with everything. And eventually we're going to have to do that if we want ET contact, because we're going to have to get along with all the races. And there are positive reptilians out there. There's positive and negative Pleiadians. There's the deep space Pleiadians, the Nordics with the Black Fleet, and then there's the positive Pleiadians, right? And basically the Navajo learned that language from the Pleiadians, and there is a prophecy about the blue star and the blue star seeds coming in to help in the higher frequencies. And I think Devine Masculine, I want you to pick an animal totem that really has integrity this week for your homework, and that will really help you, because animals have, that's what I'm talking about, the root chakra, the sexual work, is that animalistic. You've got to be in tune with Mother Nature to be able to really tune into your higher resonance, because it's like there's so much wisdom in the eyes of a panther or in the eyes of a wolf, and these creatures are way more conscious than we are sometimes, and they know a lot about the kundalini flow and of the world, the systems of fasting, learning to just only take what you need. That's the reason that they're so in harmony with the planet, is because should we get closer to the music, eh? Yeah, so basically I want Devine Masculine to not be part of the herd anymore. Don't do everything that everyone else is doing. Dress how you really feel inside. Eat what your body needs. Detach from having to be forced to drink acid to fit in. Start drinking mocktails. Start working out more in nature. Don't go to the gym and just be a jerk on a machine. I mean, you can still lift weights and stuff, but get out in nature, get out in life, live a little bit. Yeah, so that's it. I think this is a good place to Should. I mean, even like masculines will coat themselves in you know, like alcoholic like perfumes. It's stylish to cover your whole body in chemicals and clog up your pores and get cancer, when really you should be using essential oils like lavender. I just rub rosemary on me when I go out, and rosemary is an oxygenic essential oil, and it actually good for memory as well if you eat rosemary. Same with ginkgo biloba, that's a good memory enhancer as well. And maca's really good. It's like the Viagra of the vegan organic world. Take maca and you honestly, man, and it's got like 72 something aminos in it, and it's like really good to take before exams. And basically yeah, it's like it lowers blood pressure. It lowers inflammation. Inflammation's the one thing that we need to lower, and we can't do that if we're bloated and full of poisons. So once you detox all these poisons, you can actually de-inflammate really fast and actually become like a Superman. And the inverted Superman is the reptilian, you know, with the glowing red eyes, you know, the Man of Steel. But we can become Superman, you know, because there is another multiverse of a Superman who is Pleiadian, and that dude rocks, man. And on the Galactic Starfleet. So I might actually stop in there and have a mocktail. They do really nice zero alcohol pina coladas. And yeah, so I just wanted to kind of talk a bit about that, to pick an animal totem. If I was at home, I'd pick you guys a crystal, but off the top of my head, a good one for energy attacks is I think it's green jade. It's a form of jade. Moldavite's an essential, and you can pick any animal you want. So I've got like three. I've got the wolf, which I've got tattooed on now. I've got the wolf for my wolf soul. I've got the lion. I learned a lot of the tiger. I've got a masculine tiger that I use sometimes. He's very aware and rare. And tiger is actually really good for feminine sexual balancing prowess and stuff. So I always learn a lot of the feminine. I'm always studying my counterpart. And the peacock, which is in an ascended form, is the phoenix. So that's why my name is Phoenix Excalibur Wolf. And I use Excalibur because, like King Arthur, his sword was truth and harmonic resonance connected to Gaia. And I really want to start like connecting more and doing roundtable talks on I'm going to start talking on Facebook with other starseeds, because I want to help a lot of starseeds who are kind of struggling to kind of come into the out of the matrix and become more aware into the quantum field. And yeah, and so and to be aware around people who are really hacks, like with drugs and all that. So it's like, you know, sometimes the hardest thing to do is to be authentic, and that's what I want to do, is to like guide people into like you know, not having to mimic like a toxic template or to cover their face with a mask, and you know, just because they're afraid of authority. And yeah, basically how long is this video going to go for? I've actually just put a new SD card, so I should be able to go for like an hour and a half. Yeah, but there's a lot of like toxic masculine out there, and the more toxic you get, the more infiltrated you can become, and become more, you know, like, I'm not saying it's wrong to be bisexual, you know, like whoever you're attracted to, that's fine. I'm just saying that, like, for divine, if you are into the divine, protecting the divine feminine, you have to really strengthen your own like self-awareness, because there is a lot of beautiful divine feminines out there who need masculine twin flames, and twin flames are out there waiting for help and waiting for guidance, waiting for you know, your twin flame could be another masculine. Ugh. Could be another masculine, right? Well, that's terrible. I need a new DJ. Yeah. And there's a lot of beautiful Pleiadian people out there that need to hear this. A lot of people from Sirius that need to hear this. Andromedans and yeah, just starseeds from every single galaxy, all Lyras. Just want to say thank you so much, and for letting me connect with you. And from the Pleiadian Collective, the Lemurian Collective, I'll be doing ASMSR Reiki sessions, and not only that, I'll be doing the Tarot Zodiac. So, and I also have a vampire character for ASMR. For those days that I'm wanting to do shadow work with you, I'll be using my vampire side. Because I have a vampire side, but it's a positive vampire. He's vegan, and when he comes out, you know, he'll hypnotize you into ascension. So yeah, get out there, Divine Masculines. Don't, you know, like, just give up on trying to fit in, and actually just like cut ties with anything toxic, anything acidic. Go vegan, go plant-based. Just really have fun with what you're doing. You can have so much fun with what you're doing, and it's really important to actually enjoy yourself. It's actually when you're in bliss that things flow and things actually help you work for you and ascend for you, and actually really yeah, basically I'm just rambling now, but basically like really step out like Divine Feminine. Divine Feminines have done so much work, you know, like even 20 years ago it would be so hard for a man to go out with long blue hair and not be called a queer, right? But now in this day and age it's actually acceptable, you know, to be individual. And you know, like the inverted templates on the Hollywood, like Batman and the Joker, they were attacking the Joker template because that's why they killed Heath Ledger, the Golden Boy. It's because Heath Ledger was actually a Golden Boy, right? And when he played the Joker's always been depicted as the homosexual that needs to be. You know, like even the story about Dracula. You know, there's versions where they say, oh, you know, Dracula was a gay man in the closet, and it was all about, you know, this underlining homosexual tension, right? But really, what they're trying to hide is the occult agenda, where, you know, a lot of these bloodlines are actually, you know, have developed a lot of power because they're actually, you know, doing a lot of the elite occult practices, the magic and stuff like that. And you can gain that in the positive light just by doing divine work and coding yourself, and doing divine masculine work, and yeah, getting back in touch with source code. So like, I've come from like the bottom as well. Like I was smoking cigarettes at some point. I was drinking a bottle of wine a day. I was doing drugs. You know, I've never done the heavy drugs, but I've done like you know, I've done a line of coke. I've taken acid. You know, I've dropped DMT. You know, but I did it in a spiritual way. You know, like when I took acid in New Zealand with some MDMA. It was my first ascension into Divine Masculine, because I saw the spirit animal of the festival, the festival, and I totally like stripped like off naked in the crowd and just started dancing. But before that, I had a very sacred moment with the white stag in the woods, and you only see him if you've got good luck. And right next to the white stag was an identical black stag, and the black stag was there to show that I had to do my shadow work if I wanted to glow like that beautiful golden illuminating stag, and they're just as powerful as each other. So I'm not opposed to any form of light frequency as long as it's got divine intention behind it, just like magicians and magic. You know, it's not the magic, it's the magician that makes it dark or light. And you can use, you know, fertile energy is dark. You know, you have to plant seeds in the fertile dark soil for it to grow. So that's what I want to say, is that integrate your light and darkness, but at the same time consciously do it from a light standpoint, like a light version of awareness. Yeah, so like 8 months ago, I would have like totally walked past the club and just got like shit-faced just because I wanted to fit in. But now, like, I don't need to do that anymore, because I don't need to. Like when you, like, just like in that movie where that dude, where They Exist or whatever, where he puts on the glasses and he can see all the toxic aliens like controlling everyone and telling everyone to obey, right? You know, you really can put on spiritual glasses and just see people putting acid in their faces, getting fat, eating dead bodies, eating flesh. You know, with dead bodies, right, with meat, when you eat flesh, you actually contract worms from that, and they're just like garden worms. They're just like garden worms, right? but they're parasitic in your body. So they're actually just doing their job. They need to deconstruct the flesh for you, and they're just doing what parasites do. It's the same with fourth dimensional parasites. You know, the ones that the Babylonian parasites that latch onto your spinal column, onto your kundalini, onto your chakras, onto your back. You can see them, and the shamans talk about that. The shamans learn to see the shadow people, and Don Juan was talking about that in the Carlos Castaneda books, talking about learning to see the shadows, because you kind of become aware of what parasites are latched onto people. And there's, what was I saying? Yeah, there's worms that go in your body when you eat meat, and they have to decompose the flesh for you. But once they've done that, they hook into your neurosystem and your gut lining and actually give you cravings over the full moon. So the whole ET agenda with the holographic matrix is actually relying on your own inability to kind of like look into your shadow work and like with organic stuff, like with your body, which is so important. I'm so glad I didn't go in there for a drink, for a mocktail, because I would have not finished this video. But I'll treat myself to something healthy. I've actually just got a vegan salad in my bag, and that's it. I just eat one salad a night, and then I work out, and then when I'm not doing that, I'm like resting and like recording. So yeah, basically okay, this is going to be an hour long, but I'm going to start uploading it. Basically, my fellow friends, my Divine Masculine, and please cross-watching Divine Feminines, please watch this, because I want you to be able to help your man. It's all about, you know, tuning into Saint Germain and the harmonic cleansing violet flame fire of spiritual pureness, you know. And Saint Germain is a reincarnation of Merlin, and Merlin was guiding King Arthur, and Arthur was pure. And who did he send to retrieve the Holy Grail? Galahad, the purest knight. He was the only one that wasn't affected by anything. You know, Lancelot was affected by lust, stealing Queen Guinevere. Galahad was the purest knight. He detoxed from the matrix. He didn't have a drop of alcohol, a bite of meat. He didn't even get laid. And I feel sorry for him in that way, because I think Divine Feminine Masculine, you can create a higher sexual quantum field when you do your work. Like when the true twin flames come through that have done all their spiritual work, that aren't hooked into the agenda, are going to be able to make love that is so powerful that they will be living forever. Because the real Holy Grail, and here's where I'm going to hit you with some occult knowledge. The real Holy Grail is actually sexual magic from the Pleiades, which is that the royal bloodlines of the Pleiadians would unite in matrimony with their twin flame, and with their twin flame, right? And these special bloodlines would mix. They would take the fluid, not the fluid, they would take the blood from the Divine Feminine on her menstrual cycle, on her moon cycle, because moon in Latin was sin. So that's why Christians taught everyone who was a goddess worshipper that they were a sinner. So they took the sin, they took the blood from the Divine Feminine, mixed it with Divine Masculine semen, and when blood from the Divine Masculine the blood from the Divine Feminine goes through the portal of the uterus, of the womb, of the ovaries, that's uncoded star DNA. That's uncoded. That's all the genetically, our genetics are kind of coded, so that's why we have to do a lot of self-coding, which is why I'm making these videos. But when a woman's blood cycle goes through her ovaries, that's decoded star DNA, and we have ancestral star genetics too. Is that Alice from Wonderland? Alice in Wonderland. Look, wow. So it's star uncoded constellation heritage DNA, right? So, ew. Oh, she's so pretty. So basically, right, when you mix the sacred semen, because the semen from the Divine Masculine we're going to get into that Divine Masculines before I finish this video. I'm not going to leave you without this information. Is that the sacral fluid from the pineal gland, from the pituitary gland, from the lamb, the son of God, the Ra, the eye of Ra, the lamb, which is actually shaped like a ram, and pituitary gland is actually shaped like a bull. That's why Aries, Taurus, and then you've got, it's like all the glands are in the zodiac. Scorpio is the genitalia, and between, you know, Leo is the heart, magnetics. Leo, the lion heart, King Arthur. Leo, and when you mix that, and basically like this juice goes down your kundalini, down your spinal column to your root chakra, which is why it's so important to do root chakra work, and why it's important to not ejaculate. If you're going to masturbate divine masculines, please put pressure on your veins as you orgasm and hold on to your fluids, because you can still orgasm, but it's really important to slow down and practice not coming, because or coming like just little bits, because when you're having sex, it's not only does it stop you from having a baby, but what happens when a baby comes along is that there's a high over the charts of hydrogen ozone O3, oxygenated the O3 hydrogen. Someone will have to correct me if they comment on this, but hydrogen oxide. So basically like that's, you need all that oxygen to make a baby, and that's because life is formed in pure oxygen, and just like in the ozone, right, like with pure water, and oxygen cures anything, bacteria when in high enough doses. That's why people who get ozone clinics to purify their blood live much longer and look so much younger, because all the parasites are dead in their cellular structure. And so when you mix the semen with the blood, right, you've got all that decoded genetics from the star heritage, from the constellations of that female's bloodline. So she could be from Sirius, say, or the Pleiades. If she's from the Pleiades, and you mix your sacral, because basically the chrism, the Christ, is the Christ, which just means, Christ was the fluid that they described, and Jesus was, on the zodiac, he was like, he starts out as the baby lamb, and he goes through all the cycle, and when he gets to being the lion heart, that's when he's in his power and doing his magic and healing, and then he gets basically like betrayed by Judas, in Scorpio. So he gets stung and goes down to the underworld of like the world of Saturn, and has to come back up and resurrect. And it's the same with magnetics, and it's the same with quantum physics. There's like black matter as well, like dark matter. Dark matter is just as important to harness as well in your body by doing your shadow work. So basically, when you mix the blood and the semen, you get the drink of immortality. You get the union of two bloodlines. You get the divine masculine, which is lacking in the feminine, because semen is full of ormus, monotomically rearranged elements, and it's full of all that, all the fiery masculine DNA that's needed to, because you don't just have to make a baby with sex. You can actually like prolong your life with Kundalini and Kama Sutra. So that's why Divine Masculines, I want you to practice holding on your vein, holding back from orgasm, and then you will find you're having 6 hour long sex sessions and it's actually going to be the most beautiful sex you've ever had. And I also encourage masculines to not be afraid of the period blood, because that's actually sacred, feminine. That's the most sacred thing in a feminine's energy that you could be in touch with. And even if you don't want to taste it, you should still have sex on a period, because it's going to help her get more comfortable with you, and merging your chakras and mixing your Taurus fields with your divine masculine. Whoa, that's so cool. So basically, whoa, look at the city. Yeah, so I'm so glad we had this chat collective, because I was like really getting frustrated with Mercury retrograde. Like, I did a live video and it kind of went down, and I'm going to definitely do more of these talks. Like, I've decided I'm going to go do downloads, and then I'm going to do ASMR Reiki for you, and my tarot. So and I'm also and if you please subscribe to my channel, because every like will help me go live, and then when I start doing my tarot readings, that can help fund my fashion business, and I'm going to start making fashion for you starseeds. A lot of you will see my Instagram, Lemuria Lemurian _Prince, and that's got a lot of my fashion on there. My other Instagram account, where I'm going to be going live on, because Lemurian _Prince got banned for posting the Illuminati and their satanic Pizzagate rings. The other channel, which is going to be more professional and more just about divine work, which is actually what I need to be doing, that is Prince Excalibur. I'll have to double check that. Oh no, actually, sorry, it's Prince of the Prince Pleiades. I'll have to double check that for you. I'll leave both links in the bottom. And my Facebook is Phoenix Excalibur Wolf. My other Facebook's Prince Excalibur, and you can add me on both and DM me if you want to do like a recorded or a live quantum healing session, and we can, or if you want to do roundtable chats for starseeds, or if you just wanted to find out if I ever go open a chat room and just do a quantum healing session where people can comment, I'm going to be doing that too. Yeah, I'm just wandering around Melbourne. See, the thing is, when you don't drink and you don't do drugs and you work out and you're spiritual, you've got to find other ways of entertaining yourself. So I just like watch stupid people get into drama. No, I don't. I just enjoy my senses more. And actually, when you quit drinking Divine Masculines, you'll notice that organic fruits and organic juices actually taste like fine wine. They're so beautiful, so beautiful. Ooh. E-skateboard. Yeah, so if you like I will set up a PayPal eventually for my tarot reading, so you will be able to donate, or I'll set up a subscription channel on YouTube or something, as long as I don't get deplatformed. Yeah, because I know some of the stuff I talk about is really kind of controversial. Oh, that's what I want. Yeah, so just like the e-skateboard, you need to tune into the free energy, the Tesla energy of the planet. Your Kundalini is the Tesla coil. Right, so, and I know a lot of my Divine Masculines that are watching have been affected by the Secret Space program and have had astral implants and, other timelines, past life deaths, trauma from the deaths on Lyra and Atlantis that they need to integrate. I will be working with that as well a lot, so people can start to integrate a more positive side of their self, where they realize that we are immortal, and that a lot of these and there's a lot of trauma from the Secret Space program, where people will have altars and stuff, and I know that that's a sensitive issue, which I'll talk about more in another video. But if you do feel like you have different sides of your personality, we want to be integrating those into one by just working from the most simplest place we can, which is the base chakra. The base chakra, and like basic, fear and love responses. So Divine Masculines and Divine Feminines, please start having more conscious celebrations. Get off the acid regime paradigm where the Illuminati are attempting to kill you with everything from dairy to alcoholic drinks, anything they can do to dissolve your DNA so that it can't resonate properly. You are a quantum being made of stars, people. You deserve the best from life. Only eat from Mother Earth and Mother Gaia. Yeah, so she's so beautiful. I've seen her, in the mountains, bare-breasted, waterfall coming down, and she is a conscious being. She is a conscious. Oh no, see, this is what I mean by drama. Guys, chill the fuck out. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. Melbourne's fucking crazy. And that's why it's important not to get hooked into that alcoholic world. Yeah, because then you don't get infested by demons. We're actually doing shadow work right now by watching these people. We're actually doing our own shadow work. Yeah. Example of what not to do. So, yeah, it's when you de-hook, you actually can see clearly that these people are under some kind of fucking spell. They're under some kind of fucking spell. And they mix pleasure with death. They want you to smile as you're killing yourself and smoking yourself to death. And you know, we've got to be like the Pleiadians, pray on our food, consciously eat, always bless your food, always be really happy with everything you're doing. As I said before, be in bliss. The best warriors are happy warriors. Like Peter Pan, think happy thoughts. Think happy thoughts. Yeah, and Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, it's I think the hologram acts like some type of resonance field. So you got to be aware that it's actually mirroring you at the same time. So you can't blame it for, you've got to do your own self-work. It kind of annoys me too, is that when I went in for a 0% beer, it still had 5% alcohol in it, which is kind of, it's a big step, but you know. Yeah, so I'm so going to take my tarot cards out like Gambit and just pull cards out as I'm walking. I'm so going to do that next time. So Divine Feminines, I advise a very powerful totem animal for you as well. The tiger is a very beautiful totem animal to pick from because it's in control of reclaiming your sexual power as a Divine Feminine. I know I haven't spent much time on the Divine Feminine tonight, but reclaim your sexual power. A lot of Divine Feminine has done that, and it's really important to show the way for the Divine Masculine that he can reclaim his divine sexual power, be confident in who he is, and it's actually okay to be beautiful, whichever, if you're Divine Feminine. So it's okay to be beautiful and strong and have an opinion, be smart, you know, do your nails and help disclosure, help with the information wars and the Illuminati, and help with, oh, that's beautiful. It's actually a really good site. Yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah, so that's pretty. Yeah, so the world is your oyster, and we have to be kind of like urban shamans, you know, like we have to really like be healers in amongst it. We can't just run off and do like healing in some you know, part of the mountains and hide away from everything, because that's not really fixing the problem. You're still going to have to deal with modern day society. If you want to, you know, enter 50, you're going to have to rise above this stuff in any frequency, and it's very hard to do that. But Divine Feminines, please, you know, guide your masculine away from idol worship. Don't let him buy brands. Make him custom order his stuff. Have a lot of creative input in what he's doing. Get him off the whole MK Ultra mind sport worship of the elite that's going on since ancient Greece, when they were still worshipping gladiators who were killing themselves so that people could feed off the loosh and send it to the ley lines and the Masonics. They set up the different, they inverted the Tesla frequencies of the ancient Egyptians who had electricity and the ley line magnetic knowledge in the crystalline pyramids. Well, the Masonics, they inverted all that, put the obelisks in different points of the ley lines around the city so that they could actually feed off crowd hype and marriage contracts and magical contracts in the fourth dimension, and suck off any you know, kind of any emotional, you know, vibration they could, because they were doing spells on these obelisks and stuff. And yeah, so you want to be really aware of, like, you know, that's why when you program a crystal, it's really good to like meditate with it and sleep on it, put it under your pillow. If you sleep on crystals, you actually have better dreams, because there's crystals in your pineal gland, and you actually are a radio frequency, and you can, the more you detox and decalcify your pineal gland, the more you become telepathic, and the more you'll be able to we're going around in a full circle. I didn't even get a... Oh. Oh, mate. Are you alright, mate?
He got it. Did you get that on film?
I did get that on film.
Did you get that on film? Holy shit. Yeah, this guy got it.
Oh, shit, man.
He got it, bro. Oh, we need do that.
Oh, mate.
We need that.
Oh, I'll send it to you.
Holy shit.
I've been filming for an hour.
Oh man, how good quality is that?
It is good quality. Oh, it's
What
awesome.
sort of phone is that, man?
It's a Samsung S10.
Wow.
Yeah, it's good, man.
Fuck, it looks so good.
Oh, God.
Can we see that? Can you airdrop it or do something to that?
Okay, yeah. Well, peace out, everybody. I'm ending this video here.
Sorry, guys. I don't mean to ruin a live feed.
No, it's good. I need to do shorter videos. Peace out, collective.
Bye, collective.
Peace out.
See you guys.
Hey everybody. Hey, I just thought I'd like end the video like with an explanation. So basically, those dudes crashed into their pole and I got myself a cherry and coke. And so you can still have fun as the Devine Masculine. So I'll post that, I'll highlight that part of the video and post it to them. Those guys are really cool. Oh, hey.
That was a nice keep up with me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good, man. Yeah, so everybody, I'm sending you all a love, and the more you detox, the more you love yourself, the more you'll float. The more you will float to 50.